But we don't know if that was like was that like, something
Right.
that was scripted? Does it just take one shell to get you? I've actually never played. I never played a Battlefield game before because when I wanted to play the original Battlefield, I went off and I played the original Call of Duty, right? So I've always been Call of Duty, but I've got friends who play Battlefield and they're like, this is amazing. It's like it's what everyone wants. You've got 32 versus 32 on these huge maps. You have someone fly you in with a helicopter. Your squad drops out in the online multiplayer. The helicopter gives you backup fire as you're running out and trying to take a location. And it sounds like fantastic.
Speaking of God mode and scripted, what did you think about the Kinect? Because what I noticed was that every single thing that a person said, it knew, and there was not one error. That was my first thing.
I completely agree.
The Star Wars demo, there was terrible AI.
And the Star Wars demo just kind of looked like a piece of shit.
Yes. And when they
let's go back to the scripting there for a second.
Okay.
Because I've got to say, like, I rewatched the live Mass Effect demo at the Xbox conference or whatever, and they used Kinect in that, right?
Yep. They used the voice commands.
The voice commands is what I was really wanting. Watching it again, it just completely looks 100% scripted, and you can almost tell because the guy on stage looks nervous, but not in this like nervous developer way,
right?
Like, oh shit, this is gonna crash. I say, I was nervous, like I'm nervous because if I screw up one of these lines, everyone's gonna know and gonna be like really mad.
Right. I like the voice commands for that as long as they work.
No, I think that's an awesome implementation, and I'm gonna definitely like. I have to get caught up on my Mass Effect because I love the first game, never played the second game, so I need to get around to doing that so I can be ready for the third game.
And then the Kinect was also used for EA Sports games, and I expected that. I felt like that should have come before E3 2011. But it was still a good announcement, I thought. I think it'll work pretty well. The Kinect is built for that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's something like Nintendo's sort of been there and done that as long as you think of Kinect only as the Wii without a Wii mode in your hand, right?
Yeah.
But like, so it makes it a little less impressive. But we're back, and we're talking about Tomb Raider here because Ryan has a little bit to talk about that. And actually, I have a few things to say about it. It's like a sort of strange game.
I agree.
Why don't you go first?
It sounded like she was doing a dance or being injured in some way. If you listen to it, it's just literally her screaming the entire trailer.
I swear to God, like, I'm pretty sure that they're marketing this game at people who are into, like, torture porn.
You got it.
Like, the entire time, like, she's covered in mud, her clothes are getting ripped, she's getting scraped up, there's, like, evil guys, like, grabbing her. I think at one point I heard her scream, like, don't rape me. Like,
yeah.
Was she screaming that? I only watched it once, but, like, it was bizarre. She was screaming something.
No, I had to put my earphones in. Like,
this is like embarrassing, right? It's like
now all that beside, it was very attractive gameplay, and I was really impressed.
So you're into that type of thing?
Oh yeah, I was impressed by the lighting of the torch, and like just how the light.
See, I thought
worked.
She would have caught her hair on that thing.
You mean when she got out of it at the beginning?
No, caught her hair on fire.
No, but when she got... Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Never mind.
But, no, yeah, I mean, you are right. Like, later, other than the onstage presence, there were other demos of the game. And, it's got an open world, but you also go into these, like, caverns and caves, and there's puzzle solving where it doesn't just hint you the entire time.
No, it seemed very good.
It's like a beautiful game, and the recent Tomb Raider games, ever since they rebooted the series a couple years ago, have actually been really good. So, I mean, it's obviously going to be a great game. It's just like, I don't think I could play that, like, with my mom in the room.
No, I totally agree. And back to the Kinect sensing thing and scripting and all that. Ghost Recon, when he's modifying his guns,
Is so lame.
it was very lame. I think, first of all, it's easier to do that with a controller. Second of all, it was cool, like, expanding the gun and then putting it back together, but, like, no one's ever going to do that ever the first time.
Like, why am I changing my gun to
Exactly.
handle? Like, who gives a shit?
And then randomizing your gun?
I'm gonna randomize my gun, and it's gonna be a piece of shit.
Yeah, like, let's... Oh, it's awful.
Are you at all interested in that new Ghost Recon game?
No. Not really.
I mean, there's so much,
There's so much
honestly,
better
like,
stuff.
before you do, like, you're buying Call of Duty before you do that, right?
Right.
I mean,
And the final thing I want to say about Ghost Recon is the way he was shooting by opening his hand and closing his hand.
so ridiculous.
He just looked awful. And
like, can you imagine being in your living room and just being like, open palm, close palm, open palm, close palm, and now I'm going to throw my hand backwards to reload.
oh yeah, it was just awful. And
but you know what I did like, though? I'm not sure. Let me think about this for a second. With Mass Effect, they used Kinect, but
they mostly just did voice commands, and they were
the
really
voice
good.
Commands, and yeah, that actually
Because
looked like
you
a
said
solid
you said you like
implementation.
had to speak the words on the screen, and that was your response.
Well, other than that, there were tactically during battle, you could point point your analog stick aimer to a corner or an enemy or something, and you could be like, "Yo, Asari girl, go use Death Mind on this thing."
Mm-hmm.
You could say those words, and she would go and do it. And I mean, obviously, it could easily be video that we were watching at the press conference, but like, I have a lot of faith in BioWare that that's actually going to be something that really does work.
I agree. Microsoft won't disappoint. They're not just going to go up there being the top of the list and just come
Because
up with
Microsoft
something
has never,
false.
ever disappointed us
Yeah.
before.
Yep.
Halo 2.
Um,
Speaking of Halo,
I want to get back to Halo 4. And
there was a lot of Halo.
yes.
But wait, you want to say something before we get to Halo? Or
Yes,
do you
I do want to say something.
Alright, I'm writing Halo down.
Yes.
We're going to get back to Halo. Because I forgot about it up until this moment. Like, I don't know, Skyward Sword.
Oh no,
so
I was in the back burner. I had it.
Good.
Okay, so speaking of the Ghost Recon guy looking absolutely retarded, so did everyone else in the Microsoft press conference. Like, all the people that played with the Kinect, and the little kid that's like, "Dad, you're so awesome! Yeah, son, let's do this!"
But you know what was good about that? Who was it? I think it was Tim Schafer who was up on stage right before that terrible Sesame Street fake family came on.
Disneyland was bad too.
Disneyland was terrible, but at least Tim Schafer, he's a good guy. He's a developer, right? He called that family out. He was like, "Here's your phony family.
Yeah.
You can watch them play this game."
Those kids are going to be great actors one day.
Not
They are.
the Disney World one or whatever. That was
Disneyland.
just like Disney.
I don't know if that's
That
a
was
good
painful.
idea or a bad idea.
Well, one, the game looks like crap.
Okay, yeah,
Here's
it doesn't
the
matter
thing.
what the game looks like. I'm just saying good idea or bad idea.
To demo it like that?
No, to have
Just
a game where you could do something that you could actually do in real life. Because most games are like, let's be a fighter pilot because we couldn't actually do that in real life. Or let's like...
I don't know about you, but I fly jets all the time. Really hot.
You need to stop smoking.
So, but I'll tell you why these like games marketed towards children are really bad. Because, like, what 5-year-old that wants to play games? Do you know that? First of all, what 5-year-olds do you know? Okay, probably like very few, maybe a cousin or whatever. But little kids play big kid games. Like, there's like no 5-year-old who doesn't play Mario. And Nintendo's a good company for this because they will make their games and they'll make them kid-friendly and whatnot, but they make them for all... Like, anyone can pick up Mario and have a challenging time with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for the 5-year-old, too. And is a 5-year-old really going to want to play Sesame Street over Mario?
No.
Like, no. Maybe they'll watch... Like, actually, 5-year-olds don't even... Like, like 3-year-olds watch Sesame Street. So there's really there's no actual market for these kids games because kids like to play real games.
I agree. Minecraft on 360.
And the biggest issue with Minecraft on the 360, because what people like about Minecraft is how frequently it updates.
Yes.
Right?
Hardware is not good enough.
Well, for one, I don't know about, it's not like the graphics are intense, but
Oh, it's nothing even about graphics. It's just sheer
the size. Yeah.
It's even on the PC it runs slow. When I first saw Minecraft, I thought it was a game from the 90s.
Well, of course.
Doesn't it look like
yeah,
in the Xbox
like
360 version? In the 360 version, instead of 7 blocks making up a sheep, it's literally gonna be one white block that just bounces.
But the problem with the updating is that people like how quickly this game updates. And this isn't my idea. This idea was, who was it? His last name is Below. It's the guy who created the creator of Braid. He pointed out the fact that people like how quickly this game updates, and Microsoft is notorious for not letting people update their games quickly enough. Those updates you might get one every 3 months at the maximum for a game because they just have so much policy that you have to go through to get one of them out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, probably the game will be successful when I'll sell hundreds of thousands of units because people
I might buy it.
Minecraft.
I might buy it.
I mean, yeah, I'm interested, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the real problem is it's not going to be the full experience. It's gonna get bashed for that. It won't really affect Microsoft or anything, but
it's not really a console game either because console games usually have purposes and distinct purposes, like Sims and stuff like that. That games like that have never done well on consoles. Even RTSs don't usually do well on consoles. They're just types of games that are made for the PC. And I think Minecraft is one of those.
And those games that go from PC to console that have the most success are often retailored, simplified, and given more concrete objectives. For example, I think Civilization 4 went to the consoles, but they stripped it down. They streamlined the controls and streamlined the objectives and how much time it took to play a match. That game did really well. And you can look at Halo Wars as a good example of I think those matches take about 30 minutes, controls streamlined for the console. Are we gonna get that with Minecraft? What's up there? But then again, there's the other side of it, and is Minecraft more like a game like Oblivion, where you just do a really simple port, and people are gonna play it for 300 hours.
It could be. I do have to say that I bought Halo Wars and returned it 3 days later.
Why was that?
I did not enjoy it. I can't remember whether I got stuck. I think I got stuck at a mission, and the thing was, no strategy that was smart would fix it. I would have to just go online and look up some crappy strategy that would only work in this game and wouldn't work in real life if I was actually in the Halo universe doing this. I was doing everything right.
In real life in the Halo universe.
Yes.
This is not how it works.
No, but seriously, I just thought, if I actually want to play an RTS, I'm going to play a good one, and I'm going to play it on a computer.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I finally installed StarCraft 2 on my computer, because I had gotten it a little while ago, and I had been playing it on another friend's computer. But I finally installed it on my computer. I only booted it up for 30 minutes or so just the other night, and I played a medium computer and tried to remember my build order a little bit from I'd been playing I think hard computer a couple weeks ago. But I think actually what I enjoyed most was just booting it up on my computer and just maxing out the settings, because you can play that game on pretty much anything. But if you play it on a smaller computer, it almost looks like StarCraft from 1998 or whenever that game originally came out, because it almost looks 2D. when I had this thing on my computer, it was full 3D. Everything was shiny. It was fantastic. It's just a little plug in case you hadn't heard of that, little indie game called StarCraft 2.